Welcome to the FAST Lab. My name is Addison Petty. I'm a student geospatial consultant in the Facility for Advanced Spatial Technology and a Master of Urban and Regional Planning student at CU Denver. The purpose of this video is to introduce basic tools to customize map layers and begin your analysis for planning methods or studio. Covered topics include selection, clip, and buffer tools to focus in on your study area. Navigate to www.denvergov.org/opendata to download shapefiles for street center lines, statistical neighborhoods, parcels, and zoning. Review the videos for how to download and connect to your data folder in ArcPro and ensure that you have set the correct spatial reference for your project before beginning this tutorial. You may also want to review how to access your attribute table and symbolize data first. Now, suppose that you want to do a study on traffic noise near residential parcels within a quarter mile of the interstate. Suppose that you are also initially interested in buffers that reduce neighborhood noise within the first 200 feet of the interstate centerline. You can isolate areas of interest using the Select by Attributes, and Select by Location tools, which are all located under the Map tab in the top ribbon pane. First, let's isolate I-25 on the map. To do so, ensure that the street centerline layer is highlighted in the Contents pane on the left. Next, click Select by Attributes in the top ribbon pane and add a new expression. Use the drop-down menus to enter an expression where name is equal to Interstate 25. Click Apply and notice that I-25 is now highlighted on the map. Next, zoom into some of the yellow residential areas near I-25. Corey Merrill and University Park are two adjacent neighborhoods with yellow residential zones near I-25. Let's limit our study area to these two neighborhoods. You can isolate your study area by removing the other neighborhoods from the map. Highlight the Statistical Neighborhoods layer in the Contents pane on the left and ensure that it is placed at the top of your drawing order. From the top ribbon pane, click the Select icon. Press Shift and click on both the Corey Merrill and University Park neighborhoods. Highlighting these neighborhoods on the map also selects them in the attribute table. To access your attribute table, right-click the neighborhoods layer and select Attribute Table. Notice that 2 of the 78 neighborhood records are selected. Click the Switch button in the attribute table to reverse this selection. Then click Delete. This will remove all but the 2 neighborhoods you've selected from this shapefile so that only your study area remains. Notice that zoning and streets now extend beyond the boundary of our smaller study area. You can clip these layers to the extent of the study area. To do so, click the Analysis tab in the top ribbon pane and choose the Clip tool. A geoprocessing pane appears on the right. Enter zoning as the input feature and choose neighborhoods as the clip feature, then select Run. A new shapefile is created. Remove the original zoning shapefile so only the study area zoning remains. Note that you will have to update your symbology when the new layer is created. Now let's remove zoning from the map entirely and add parcels instead. Now that we've identified residential zoning near the interstate, let's work to identify which parcels are within a quarter mile of I-25. First, let's create a new layer containing only I-25. Notice that I-25 is still selected on the map. Rather than erasing all the other streets, let's export this selection as a new layer. To do so, right-click Street Centerlines in the table of contents, point to Data, and select Export Features. Name the new output I-25. This will export only the content you have selected from the map layer to create a new shapefile. Remove the original layer for street centerlines to keep things tidy. Now that you have isolated I-25 as a new layer, click the Select by Location tool from the Map tab in the top ribbon pane. Select Parcels for your input. Change the relationship to Within a Distance. Choose I-25 as your selecting feature and change the search distance to 0.25 miles. Then click Apply. Because there are many parcels, it will take a few moments for this tool to run. Open the attribute table for parcels and notice that roughly 9,000 of the more than 230,000 parcels are selected. Let's export this selection as its own layer by right-clicking the layer in the table of contents, pointing to data, and clicking Export Features. We can call this output quarter-mile parcels. Then click OK. Finally, let's solve the last part of our problem to identify noise buffers within 200 feet of the interstate. To do so, click the Analysis tab in the top ribbon pane and select the Buffer tool. A geoprocessing pane appears on the right. Select I-25 as your input feature and change the distance to 200 feet. Then click Run. A new layer will be created showing all of the area within 200 feet of the I-25 center line. Now let's access the Clip tool again, only this time from the geoprocessing pane. Search for the Clip tool, right-click Clip, and select Batch. Choose Input Features as your batch parameter and click Next. Then select your I-25 buffer, your quarter-mile parcels, and I-25 as your input features. Then clip these features to your statistical neighborhoods and click Run. Now we can remove extraneous layers so that all of your layers match the extent of your study area. In review, recall that we visually identified residential areas near I-25 and used this information to select a neighborhood study area. Next, we use the Select by Location tool to identify parcels within a quarter mile of the interstate and see which parcels might be most affected by traffic noise. Then, we created a 200-foot buffer surrounding the interstate to study noise reduction strategies nearest to the interstate centerline. Finally, we clipped our layers to the extent of our neighborhood study area to keep things tidy. You can further refine the focus of your study area using map layouts. By adding a title, legend, and other essential map elements, your map will be complete. You can alter any of your map elements by right-clicking them and selecting properties to change font size, color, and other options to customize this layout. For more tutorials, visit our website at www.clas.ucdenver.edu/fast. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time in FAST.